Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Rita Lee's video blog. I'm Sky. Please excuse me for 1 second. I was brushing my hair as I just had a bath. So, I got some spreadsheets to do, and I got a discussion to discuss with you that is very important. But let me get my coffee first because we got a lot to cover today. So, I want to tell you something that's very important to me. Okay. Prepping. You see, we're going to have food shortages in 2023. Banks are tightening their credit, and credit card companies are not increasing credit lines. Yeah. So it's a big conundrum. A big conundrum. The worst conundrum in the world, in my opinion. But you got foods. I don't need to worry about you. So, today I'm going to do some smaller spreadsheets, get done what I can, and then work my way to the larger ones tomorrow and Saturday. So, let's get this done, shall we? So, basically, there's a lot on my plate right now and a lot of stuff. So, first of all, I would like to say welcome to my channel. We talk about prepping. Your canned meats, I looked it up before coming here. I had to dry off and stuff, so I spent some time talking to Chloe, and we were conversing about prepping and more. So, basically, we got a lot of problems. And a lot of it has to do with you, the preppers. You see, you need to focus on prepping. You don't need to focus on not prepping. You need to focus on prepping. Prepping is the key to survival right now. And there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of mixed people are saying, well, this or that, or, Now, let me just tell you a couple stories, first of all. So, first of all, me and my dad were talking last night. I brought up Higgins to him, and he laughed. Because, Higgins is a unique person. Brother Higgins is, Brother Higgins, and Brother Higgins as well as Brother Higgins, right? So, when we talked about it, we were, talking about these things. We were talking about things. And Higgins, I was telling him, is so worried about certain things, that, me and Dad, Dad tells me, don't worry. Well, I went through some scriptures today for Higgins' sake, and, it says, don't worry about anything, give it to God. Well, that's the truth. Give it to God. Let God deal with it. God will handle it in his own time. Problem is, if you keep basically dwelling on this, you're going to basically make yourself sick, every one of you. You need to prep for prepping. A lot of people say, oh, well, and I want to share with you a couple things that Higgins said to me in an email, because I think I would like to address what Higgins said in an email, because to me, it is very important to me, So, shall we? So basically, give me a second here. Basically, we need to talk about hold on a sec. I gotta hear this. They closed the traffic up. It's
Air close, we're getting back up. And 1204 on input pursuit. 204, do you have ID on the suspect?
See, this is great. All right, so it's not against the law to own a scanner, and it ain't against the law, because no one watches my channel anyway. So, anywho. Gotta love the radio scanner because entertainment by itself, So. Wow, suspect with a knife. Okay, so Higgins' email to me was very interesting because he said you got to worry about if Amazon lays off people, and that if they lay off people, what will happen to the future, Well, let me just put it to you this way, okay? I'm not worried if Amazon decides to cut services because here's how I see it, okay? So basically, first of all, if you don't have money in the stock market, do not worry about the stock market. That's the first thing that I want to say because the stock market doesn't affect poor people. So if the stock market goes down, what happens? Doesn't affect me. Stock market, I don't have money in the stock market. I mean, there's billionaires worried about their damn stocks failing because they're not going to make money. I'm not worried at all. Companies cut back and lay people off or close stores and businesses. Well, I live on an island, so as long as the shipping comes to me, it doesn't affect me. And besides, Amazon's already slow, so to me, if all the stores close around you, what would you do? Well, the thing is the stores won't close around us because the U.S. government has already bailed them out, okay? And the states got government bailout programs through from the state level, so it's not going to affect me. Two is because I order everything online, the only thing it's going to affect me is shipping, and that's the only thing. So for you people out there worried about, this like Higgins, it doesn't affect me. You need to think about not just how you would financially be. I'm not financially affected. Here's how I see it, okay? As Dad sees it, and everyone around me sees it. Cousin Dinky sees it. Cousin Corey sees it. Cousin... So it doesn't affect me at all. I mean, literally, my family, it says, unless you have money in the stock market, it doesn't affect anyone. I mean, literally, my family works in the IT business, and another one works in. Then it says, man, if it's not rather what it does things around you they're used to, you would be pissed off it was not available. Well, let me put it to you this way. I order everything online due to the fact that half or 95% of everything is not available on this island because the island caters to the wealthy. So what the wealthy want, like snails, escargot, Wagyu beef, Kobe beef, and everything else, they're basically, the stores will stay all in business. The owner of the grocery stores own 5 businesses. See, the thing is when I moved here, better stock market. So it says Amazon lays off another 100,000. You don't get your package. Well, then I go through a different store. As long as the store ships, it's fine. I mean, literally, right now I order. Everyone relies on Amazon. The thing is, Amazon, as I said time and time again, got too big for their britches. You can always go through another store online. Abe's Books, subsidiary of Amazon. You can go through Target, Walmart, Fred Meyer, Kohl's, Giant Eagle. You can order foods from any of the Kroger's subsidiaries and it'd be fine. Mostly you can also order from the garage site, eBay. I mean, literally, we're not basically, he says it's not just about personal problem. Well, it doesn't affect me. That's the thing. So unless it affects the things that I care about, books, music, movies, video games, it doesn't affect me. Now, it will affect you all if, and I'm saying this with a heavy heart to say this, that if the stocks start basically causing problems to the industry that makes your foods and your meats, then you need to worry. But in the meantime, do not worry. Do not worry about it. Keep prepping because the best bet is for survival mode is prepping. Now, let me finish the email because it's interesting. So I recited some of the stuff about the Bible. And then he says, recite those of people lose their housing, their failure to pay up. So, well, let me put it to you this way. Higgins is on SSI, so Higgins shouldn't even be fucking worrying, okay? Because, frankly, let me tell you about Higgins, okay? Unlike Higgins, who's on SSI, people on SSI have a fallback on the government. You find an advocacy group, they'll pay your rent. You have an advocacy group, they'll pay your electricity. You So, or the utilities get off shut in the middle of the winter because Amazon decided to cut back. See, thing is if the people get laid off, the government has programs in already that the Republicans hate that will bail out the people. I mean, look at my advocates, okay, my adopted sisters. They're busting their ass. They're helping the homeless. They're getting them housing. I'm helping on that project too. They're busting their ass off, basically helping the homeless, getting them things. Top that off, the advocacy groups also help with food banks stuff. They help with food stamp stuff. They help with medical stuff and mental stuff. They help with it all. So the destitute and the poor always have something to fall back on. And right now is not the time to worry about you. The bottom line is do not worry. Just keep prepping because frankly, there is groups everywhere. I mean, look, let me finish the email and then I'll get into it. It says, yes, give it up to the Lord because he also paid him. Look, I am more paid attention than Higgins is, okay? That's why I said give it to the Lord and keep fucking prepping people. We're not out of the woods yet, but the government does have programs. I mean, look, Higgins has got free cell phone because he's got food stamps. He's going to keep having food stamps for life because he has SSI, which means his phone service will never turn off. He's got free internet. Free internet won't turn off unless the pandemic's over. Advocacy groups here are running thin because they got to take care of everyone's fucking rent. My rent's paid every month on time. I don't have any complaints. The only complaint I had was recently, and I told my advocate, my sister Melissa, she's calling me tomorrow at 4, so I got to be up early. So I'm going to be up early to take that call, which is scheduled due to the fact. So it says also pay attention to what's happening around you unless you want to be in misery. I'm not in misery. This is why I keep telling my people to fucking prep. Where you were asleep at the wheel like Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe is doing his job, okay? I don't support Uncle Joe. I don't support Uncle Don, okay? I don't support either. I'm neutral. But on this damn channel, we're here to talk about prepping, and this is what you need to do. You got to get your protein. Everything else will fall into place once you get your protein. The water's gone up because of the hurricane. Now, Higgins asked me something about how do you prep for this other than to get out while you can. Well, Again, I have no answers. I'm gonna check see if there's any comments because, frankly, I'm trying to coordinate. Nope, nothing. So basically, Higgins, is got some good points, but you can't worry about, can't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it because, frankly, you can't worry about it. That's the thing. All you people sit there and you worry about everything. And to me, I'm like, look, do you want to worry or do you not want to worry? I, for one, am not going to worry because, frankly, it doesn't pay to worry. Thing is, you need to basically turn around and ask yourself, are you going to worry? No, you don't worry. You don't care, and you don't worry about that. Give it to God. God wants you to survive. God doesn't want you to worry. I mean, I gave scriptures to Higgins trying to comfort Higgins. Instead, he took it lightly that he likes what everything in the world. The thing is when you go up for judgment, God's going to ask you, like, do you love me or do you? God's provided Higgins SSI, but Higgins needs to realize he shouldn't even worry about any of this because he's got government backing that can back the poor and the destitute. I mean, literally, he's got SSI. So as long as he has SSI and an income, he's not going to be worrying about, this. He shouldn't be worried about something that has nothing to affect him at all. That's the thing. I, on the other hand, think it's different, I mean, I love all of you. You guys know this. My opinion is, out of love for you all, the government, you can fall back on the government because everyone has it. I mean, look, the secret is that you don't need to worry. I mean, look, well, let's talk about this whole prepping thing, okay? You guys sit there and say, oh, well, the government, the government, the government, the government, the government. Let me put it to you this way. As long as you can stretch your food stamps out for you people watching my channel that has food stamps, do you think I'm going to worry about it? No. Because let me put it to you this way, for you preppers out there. If you have food stamps and you're a prepper, just keep prepping. I divide half my food stamps for groceries and the other half I use to eat. Everything else falls into place nicely. That is the point I'm making on this channel. Okay, so when you turn around and you sit there and you say, oh, but Amazon. So let's put it to you this way. Amazon's laid off people, okay? They're not big for their britches. They're crumbling. Walmart's crumbling. You got to go pick up everything. But if you don't want to go pick up anything, then don't use Walmart. I mean, literally, the thing is, don't dwell on it. So basically, think of the big picture here. The big picture is the American people need to realize that you, the people, are. To their forge's information, the RP was able to contact his neighbors in the immediate vicinity. They have their doors locked and all their lights on. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you guys is that, you don't need to worry about these petty things right now. You see the stock market, they're correcting itself because we are people and humans. We shouldn't be worried about, or as the dogs say, humans, feed me humans. That you don't need to worry about this. I mean, literally, what you need to worry about is what the hell's going to happen in the future. And the future is what you make of it, okay? Now, let me tell you something that is interesting about this whole prepping thing, all right? I want you to think, okay? I told Higgins to chew on it, but Higgins didn't want to chew on it. He wanted to basically sit there and be like, yeah, yeah, you know. So, it goes like this. The American people turned around. I mean, look, the problem is you don't need to worry. You just need to keep prepping. Things will get better in time or worse. The thing is, prep for the worst, hope for the best. Don't worry about the stock market because, people that put their faith in the stock market is doing it wrong. The problem is the American people need to realize that you win, and if you basically are prepping, you prep for survival. However, what I want to tell you guys is very important to me. You see, my father-in-law, even though says don't worry about things, he worries about his taxes, his payments, his jobs, whatever. I think he worries about my inheritance. Honestly, that's why I gave the gift card speech. But honestly, I love my dad very much to say it's the thought that counts. So, what I want to say to you all is is that Dad said something that I want you guys to chew on. He's a minister like me, all right? So when he sits there and says, oh, well, think of prepping, okay? You prep. You're prepping for things, right? Higgins is right about a lot. One thing he is right about is the whole thing, how you prep your entire life. No offense. You prep your entire life. And you think everything's great. And then all of a sudden, what happens? You prep. And then a natural disaster like Hurricane Ian, Rita, Katrina.
Hey, one of you guys give me an ETA, please. We're going to have to clear this house pretty quick. I'll be there in about 4 minutes. For this evening, just FYI, guys, on the way, I'm just holding the perimeter here at gunpoint at this point. I don't know where he is. He ran into the woods. He's armed with a knife, and I don't know if there's anybody else in the residence. Crazy. No reply.
So, basically, sorry, I'm interested in this chase.
I can identify him. I chased him into the woods, but I wasn't going to go into the woods any further. 0-4, Go ahead. Yeah, all what you've got. I just got a phone with the fire department. They've got thermal imaging equipment.
So, anyways, one of the things I wanted to share with you guys is, you don't need to worry and panic. Panic's only going to basically get it worse. Do not worry. Give it to God. God's with you. So, technically, it is very, very interesting. I got to use the restroom real quick. But the point I'm making is keep prepping. You don't need to worry about what Higgins is saying because it doesn't affect the poor. I mean, they got like fucking bread for the most yeah. So, anyways, I thought it's interesting. So, getting some spreadsheets done. Got to brush my hair, finish my coffee. Um, Higgins and I we talked about, what's going on. The thing is I'm not going to reply to Higgins due to the fact that I love Higgins dearly. He knows that we're like siblings. I poke fun at him, he can poke fun at me. So what I got to do now is keep working on these smaller spreadsheets. I think it's this. I don't even know. Oh yeah. See, I didn't even remember it. It's been so damn long. So, anyways, what I want to tell you guys is keep prepping. I love all you. You know this. You need to realize that the American people are there for you. You know. So technically, it is what it is. Except for Thursday, it's pretty busy tonight. So I should so I reset my computer so I can get this done, so I can get it done for you all. Like I said, I love all of you, and you guys mean the world to me. And so one of the things I love about Tony is Tony says, he calls me his queen. Thanks, Tony. It makes me appreciative. But he also says I care, and that I do. I worry more about you guys. So while you sit there and say to me, "Oh well, you sit there and you worry." Let me tell you what. One of the big key players about worrying. All right, let me go over to the forum real quick. I need to ask a question. Oh, question. General question. Ugh. All right, so okay. So, anyways, getting them done. Getting them done. Basically, you want to hear something that's very important on this whole debate about prepping and worrying, right? This is a big one, and I'm set for it. Now, this is something that I want to teach Higgins to learn as um, anyone who wants to worry is you worry about something you have no control over. You see, this is why I sit there and teach you all don't worry about the stock market. Higgins can sit there and say, but if the stocks go, I lose everything I cherish in life, which is my everything that the God's given me in the world. God gave modern things, but God can take it away too. I mean, that's the thing. God could take away everything. He basically caused the apocalypse, and you basically still sit there worried about your stuff. Every one of you. Think about it. Thing is what you can't control, don't worry about it. That's the truth. Truth is, you sit there and you squabble about every damn thing, right? And I'm not talking Higgins, I'm talking about all of you. But do you see me worrying? No, because there's not a damn thing I can do about it. You sit there and you say, but, yeah, um, they're taking away my happiness. Your happiness is to give it to God, not to worry about it, because God's the one that controls everything, not you. So you sit there and you think there's going to be a red wave. What if there's a blue wave? Everyone basically pushes back and says our rights are more important than you fucking shithead fucking Republicans, playing devil's advocate here. However, the thing you need to worry about the most is keep prepping. Prep like your life depends on it, but also think, how long are you going to extend your life if something happens? I mean, literally, that's something that, needs to be, you got to ask yourself. The reason Dad doesn't want to prolong his life is because, well, he's 72 years old and he doesn't give a shit. And the entire world goes down the toilet, he doesn't care, because there's not a damn thing he can do about it. And that's something that, I mean, literally. So when I talk about that, it's something to chew on, something to think about. You got to keep prepping. I worry about you guys not doing enough for prepping. Prepping's sake, you need to keep prepping. You need to cut corners. There's people out there that think credit will just be given anytime they want so they can do anything they want. But when the credit gets cut off, they're the first to bitch that they can't buy anything because the government said, nope, we're not giving it to you because you guys don't get it. The thing is the reason the government is fighting this inflation is the fact that the government is cutting corners. You sit there and say, but, I, yeah, No, the government is not going to, back you up. Hold on. Okay, so. The government will take care of you to a point. So there you have it. So the American people need to worry about prepping and prepping only. They don't need to keep worrying about everything else under the sun because it doesn't affect or apply to you guys at all. Think of it. When you prep like your life depends on. Maybe you want to extend your life 6 months to a year or 2 years. As long as it's not nuclear, you could survive anything as long as you have food, water, and shelter. And right now, as long as your rent's paid, there's no problem. Higgins is worried about, oh, well, what if the stock market crashes and we go to a depression? Well, pray like hell it doesn't. That's all you can do is keep prepping. Prep for your life depends on it, Remember what I taught you guys in the past. The world doesn't revolve around you. And besides, Higgins should know by now that there's so many damn government programs for people on disability, retirement survivors, SSI, that there's always a safety net for these people. And the Republicans want to take it all away. So if Republicans got in, they might just take away Higgins' SSI, my disabilities. Well, worth it to have his party be in power if he's Republican. I don't know if he is or isn't, but you get the point. Point is, we have to band together as preppers right now. Band of brothers and sisters, listening, comforting, and prepping like your life depends on it. Yeah. All right, so let's just start opening these up one by one so I know exactly what's available. Doesn't take too long because I got 10 I can open. I'm just going to open as many as I can. I'm just trying to make sure. So there's the first 4. All right. Then because see, I'm just clearing it up for tomorrow. See, I got to get this done by Saturday. And I can work at night too, in between gaming if I get a little cranky, Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. See, I'm just trying to keep these in order so I can just randomly choose the smaller ones. Yeah. All right. So it shows 10. Huh. Okay. There we go. So while we're still tootling around, we might as well just tootle around. Right? Right. So let's get her done. So you can't worry about something that you have no control over. That's what I wanted to teach you today's lesson. You can only control yourself, so control your basic feelings and control um your own thoughts. The stock market. Don't dwell on it. Now, if you're dwelling on what the world's offering you, then you need to go and pray to God, because frankly, your main thing right now is prep it like your life depends on it, because once it's over, that's it. And I keep telling you to prep. Now, Higgins made a point. He said, how do you prep for something like Hurricane Ian? Well, there's a lot of people that don't have places to go and they can't go. So when people say, oh, well, we can't evacuate, the truth is they could evacuate. They just didn't evacuate because they couldn't evacuate, because there's no way to evacuate someone. And that's the sad part of this. People sit there and they prep like life depends on it, and then look what happened. I mean, literally, it is what it is. Starting to dislike some things. Anyways, got to use the tinkler real quick. So we're halfway through this spreadsheet anyways, but you guys get the idea. So point I'm making is keep on prepping, because you have no control over what goes on in the world. So let me put it to you this way. People can complain about everything going down the toilet. People can. Fortunately, when they do, look what happens. They complain. They complain and they worry. And then look what happens. I mean, look, me and Higgins, we're like siblings, okay? We can poke at each other, swat each other. At the end of the day, we're like extended family. Problem is, the thing is there is some grains of wisdom here for everyone, Take it from me. Let me tell you a story. Story time by Rita. And yes, sorry, you guys can see my nipples. I'm not wearing a bra today, so sorry if you're seeing my hooters, but I prefer not wearing a, you know, Anyways, what I want to share with you is very important to you all, okay? Is you cannot, and no, it's not about my boobs. I know some people will be like, ooh, boobs. Yeah, well, I'm the same way when I see boobs on Instagram. But honestly, we're not here to talk about boobs right now. We're only here to talk about the truth. The truth is, without you guys prepping, you guys will suffer. I mean, literally, the prepping thing is very important, okay? A lot of people out there are worried. I would be too. I would be worried to death. the truth of the matter is, you guys got to keep prepping. That's your main thing. You need to survive. You don't need to fall over dead because you didn't prep. The government will help to a point, but until it gets to the point of no return, you guys need to realize that as long as you're poor on SSI, there's a program that will always bail you out. Trust me. The advocacy groups know this. Why do you think they're slammed?
North on Harborview. Then we went, south on Harborview. And then probably west on Fifth Lane is where I chased him. And then he went into the woods on Fifth. Tom Lane. Okay, I've made contact with the city.
So basically, you guys can't control any of the stock market, so don't worry about it. You can't control anything else, so don't worry about it. That's where I tell you not, I repeat, not to worry about it. Yeah. That's where you guys need to realize you don't control it. If you did, we wouldn't be in this mess. I love all of you. You know this. And because of it, the SHTF situation happens, we're all screwed. So I want you guys to think.
Can you call into the residences down below there and see if they've heard any movement or any noises since this all occurred? All nearby residences have been notified to call 911. We are now working to contact the residents on Tips Lane. That'd be great. We suspect that the suspect headed to that area. He might be hunkered down. 2122.
So basically, you guys cannot worry about what's going to happen in the future. And that's something. Because frankly, it doesn't get any easier than that. You know, you just have to worry about preparing for the worst. Because once you prep for the worst, it'll get easier.
We have now made contact with all residents in the immediate vicinity there, Harborview and Tift. We've received no reports of anything suspicious. One of the properties does have an outbuilding, but no one has reported seeing or hearing anything.
So, basically, you guys need to stop worrying about the stock market because it is you have no control over it. You should stop. There's people that complain, okay? There's these people that complain about everything, like, for example, they sit there and say, oh, well, King Charles and his useless craphead son ended up with $37 billion tax-free because they're the monarchy. Well, there's people in the country that holds together. They literally hold together with power. That's all they care about is power. Power is what they want. Power is what they get. And because of it, they think they're entitled. Where people like our overseas cousin Tone, our moderator, who gets crapped on like a piece of garbage because he's got to pay taxes and his royal family doesn't have to pay jack diddly poop. And this is why I say that every person in the country needs to realize that it's time for them to think the monarchy needs to be abolished due to the fact that there's too many people. If I was the monarchy, I would do tax cuts across the board, lower spending, less government. We don't need to spend billions of dollars, and even in the UK, for 2 aircraft carriers that looks like specialty designed diesel-powered bunker fuel. They didn't take into account the bunker fuel will run out of gas eventually. And so that they're not using much nuclear power at all. I mean, so to me, you got to ask yourself. All right, so anyways, I got to recalibrate the list again for tomorrow. I got to use the toilet, and then I got to find the phone, make sure the phone's on me in case Dad calls when I'm finishing up. But you guys need to keep prepping like your life depends on it, because that's the main key word here. Prep like your life depends on it. In the meantime, there you have it. Keep prepping like your life depends on it. Give me 1 second. All right, everyone. So let me find the phone just in case. So in the meantime, tomorrow's spreadsheets will be commencing. Bigger ones tomorrow, I guess. Hopefully I have more time tomorrow in the afternoon, probably after 4. So the schedule is after 4 o'clock. So I will be on probably for 2 to 3 hours tomorrow. This is a short video due to the fact that phone call coming in soon. So please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestions, like, subscribe button. Wholesome fun for your family, including your dogs, cats, bunnies, service dogs, service bunnies. Hit the bell notification, hit the thumbs up button. Leave the comments nice is all we ask. Subscribe if you wish, and prep like your life depends on it. And don't worry about anything. You have no control over it except for your own life and your own prepping. Stay tuned for another video tomorrow. Thank you, and God bless you in everything you do.